Wrestling Otaku, and allow me to give you my opinion on WWE today, the current product. Well, I'm probably not going to tell you anything that you haven't already heard a couple times before from a lot of people who rant on it, but the current product, well, it sucks. It's dry. It blows, okay? And I'm sure you've heard this a million times. Every YouTube ranter out there, every member of the YWC has said this at some point or another. But I mean, it's just how it is. The PG era sucks, and that's just how it is. But I mean, I look at the current product now, and I was so done with this PG stuff back in 08, 09. I was sick of it then, and it's still going on now. And looking at where wrestling was with the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era, and looking what it is right now, it just kind of, as a longtime fan, kind of makes you disappointed and sad to see how wrestling has taken such a fall like this. I mean, it's taken a hit, in the national media with the whole Chris Benoit thing. It's taken a hit in the stock market. They lost millions of dollars and all this stuff. And it's just sad to see this. And as far as this PG era stuff, I mean, the minute I knew something was up was back in 08, 09. I remember this back when they started producing WWE Kids Magazine. When they started making that, that's when I said, uh-oh, the shit is starting to go downhill. And it did. Okay, not to pat myself on the back, but I predicted this would happen. But anyway, there are a few things that happened during the show. There are a few matches that you can enjoy. The rest of it, it's just, whatever. It's just dumb. It's dull. It's bland. It has no excitement. There's no element of surprise. I mean, everything is pretty much predictable. And there's so many things that WWE could do better or could do to make the show better, and they just refuse to. Okay, they're catering to these little kids and such, and that's not what wrestling is. I mean, I don't care how much you try to water down something. A violent sport is a violent sport, and wrestling is a violent sport. Now, you can say wrestling isn't a sport, but whatever. Pro wrestling isn't a sport, but whatever. It's still violent, okay? No matter how much you try to water it down, it will be violent. And that's not something that you can show to little kids and expect them to, not be, because young kids are very impressionable. They tend to admire things they see on TV, and you see people wrestling, beating each other up. What do you think's going to happen? Okay? This is where the parents come in. But anyway, this whole PG stuff, it's just so dumb. I mean, you just get tired of it after a while. I still watch, wrestling. I watch WWE, TNA, ROH, but I mostly watch it out of habit because I'm a loyal fan and have been since 2000. And I just watch it because I want to see it get better. I'm watching it out of habit, and I'm a loyal fan. And, people, say they quit watching wrestling and whatnot, and that's okay, but I'm just going to stick around to see if it gets better, because you got to come out of it sometime. I mean, some point or another, things are going to happen, and you got to make a change. And when they will make that change, I don't know. But they got to make it soon, because they continue down this path. Well, I'd hate to say it, but they might be headed for bankruptcy, irrelevancy, rather. They've already lost a whole lot of money, a couple $100 million in the stock market like last year or earlier this year, something like that. And I know wrestling's taken a huge hit in the national media and the mainstream media, but wrestling for a lot of people, including me, is still a pretty popular thing, at least for a lot of us in the wrestling bubble. And WWE owes it to us to change, to get better, to go back to the Wrestling Otaku. And I got a little message for the wrestling Jesus, man, or Cedric, or whoever he calls himself. I watched a few of your vids. Apparently you're a big deal in the YWC. You got guys out making fan pages about you. You got guys uploading your old videos. You got guys, hovering around you and such, worshiping you for all the rant videos you do, and that's all well and good. But, recently, you say you don't watch wrestling anymore. You say wrestling sucks and all this here. And you and I both know that that's total BS, okay? Total BS. you probably still watch wrestling. You just don't tell anybody about it. But, you know, if you do, whatever. But, you know, you say you know, Cedric rants a lot. He says, oh, wrestling fans are psychos. Wrestling fans are psychotic and all this, and people in the YWC are psychotic. But truth be told, he was one of the most psychotic people in the YWC. I mean, you know, he was making videos. I saw some of his old random videos. He was having, like, wigs on. He was wearing all kinds of different clothes and shit, and dancing around, making up songs and shit during his videos. And this dude was a freaking epitome of a psychotic YWC person, yet he calls other people in the YWC psychotic. Okay. Kind of hypocritical, but okay. And so, you know, all I gotta say to you, dude, is this, you know, you don't want to watch wrestling anymore. You claim wrestling sucks now, whatever. But, you know, I'm the Wrestling Otaku, and like I said before, I'll gladly take your spot in the YWC. And, you know, your opinion would have a lot more weight behind it if you weren't Canadian, okay? Everybody knows that a Canadian's opinion is worth 3/4 of an American's opinion. That's science. That's science, okay? Okay, yes, that's a line I took from Christopher Daniels, but whatever, if you know who Christopher Daniels is. But anyway, Mr. Wrestling Jesus or Cedric or whoever, if you really want to stop watching wrestling, you don't want to do wrestling reviews anymore, wrestling videos, you want to let down your fan base, that's all well and good. You know, nobody tells you what to do. But all those fans you had, all those subscribers you had that subscribe to you for your wrestling reviews who don't really subscribe to you anymore, send them my way, you know, and I'll do the wrestling stuff for you. As a matter of fact, I'll do it better. Okay? That's all I got to say. Okay, then. Check this out, guys. A little while ago, I was looking on my 3DS on the YouTube app. I was just surfing around YouTube, and I see that the Wrestling Jesus is back. Yep, he's back. He's doing wrestling videos, wrestling reviews, and all that. He seemed a bit disgruntled about it. He seemed kind of pissed off about it, but he's doing it again. And, well, I don't want to pat myself on the back or anything, but you kind of had me to thank for that. I mean, how much of a coincidence is it? How ironic is it that mere hours after I posted a video addressing, you know, Cedric Rancelot at my video, my message to him, you know, telling him that, you know, if he didn't want to do wrestling videos, that's fine, that I'll do them for him. How ironic is it that hours later, he comes back in full force with a new account and all. And, you know, he's doing wrestling vids again and all that shit. So, not to say credit or anything, but you know what? Yeah, I will take credit for it. The Wrestling Jesus is back, and you have me, the Wrestling Otaku, to thank for it. Yep. So, thank me. All you Wrestling Jesus fans out there, you can thank me for that. I'll gladly take any and all credit. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Anyway, I am the Wrestling Otaku. I am still the new face of the YWC, and I have bigger fish to fry. So, peace out, guys. Hey, what's up, guys? The Wrestling Otaku here again. I've been making a lot of videos lately. I made at least 5 in this one day. But anyway, I said my last video was going to address the YWC members, and I'm going to do so. And the first target is none other than the guy that everybody's been talking about lately. That is Sean's View Entertainment, or Sean's View N. Now, I made a video about this guy before on my last account, Super 87, and I gave my opinion. I think he kind of sucks. I think everything he does, you know, going, you know, to other websites, wrestling sites, and taking their stories and then coming back and making a video about it and reporting it like he was the one who came out with it. Anybody can do this kind of stuff. I can do this kind of stuff. And the Sean the UN guy, he's all about the ratings, or rather all about the views and the subscribers and the money. And it shows with what recently happened. I mean, this guy WC for quite a while. I mean, whether it be exposing himself on a YouTube video or coming out with a bunch of videos, when people get flagged, like, oh, I didn't flag him, and, just making up a bunch of BS, like people sending him death threats and all this shit here, and talking about, oh, I'm going to sue you for slander, I'm going to sue you. How are you going to sue somebody over YouTube? How are you going to sue somebody over the internet? That makes no sense. And recently, the story is he came out with a GoFundMe account or a donation account where people can donate to him so he can fund his future and get a new studio down the line or some shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck? Who would pay for this guy to get a new studio? I would think with all the subs he has and all the views he gets for every video, and I'm pretty sure he's a YouTube partner. He's a partner with Machinima or whatever the name is. Pretty sure this guy gets a good amount of money from YouTube. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bet he gets a good amount of money from YouTube. So the fact that this guy is asking for donations, from his subscribers is just kind of dumb. I mean, hold on a second. Sorry about that. It's just kind of dumb that he's asking for money from his subscribers when he gets pretty good money from YouTube, from AdSense. I'm pretty sure he does. I don't know how much the guy makes, but I'm going to guess he gets money. So imagine if I was working at, say, I was taking donations for a charitable cause, like Susan G. Komen or something like that, like a breast cancer fund, where you take donations and such. And imagine if I went out and said, please donate to the cause. You can help find a cure to breast cancer, and also, some of your donations will go towards me getting a new car. Now, if people heard that, they'll say, why the hell would I donate money for this person so they can take my money and help them get a new car? I mean, that makes no fucking sense. Okay, and that's what Sean's View In is doing here, when he says, oh, please donate to me so I can get a new studio and shit like this. It's dumb. And what I don't understand is why everybody keeps talking about this guy. I mean, everything is revolving around this guy. I mean, everybody's coming out with a video about him wrestling Jesus, making vids about him, trolling him, whatever. Got freaking other guys in the YWC, big popular guys coming out with videos about him. I mean, everybody's talking about this guy. I mean, and why? I mean, he doesn't deserve it. I mean, stop talking about him, okay? Stop talking about him. Stop making videos about him. Stop giving him attention. Stop giving him publicity. Just stop, okay? He doesn't deserve it, okay? Stage 7. Just wanted to make a little something about this. I've been hearing a lot about this Jenna Marbles chick. Apparently she's this big time, another internet celebrity, big YouTube celebrity and shit. So I decided to give my opinion on her. And apparently this girl, she got famous on YouTube. I guess she's trying to be a comedian or whatever. She has comedy videos out, all that shit. So I go to her channel, check her out, because I know nothing about this bitch. She got 15 million subscribers, and I'm like, wow. And again, how the fuck do these people get these many subscribers? Are there seriously this many people on YouTube subscribing to these people? And this is the same question I ask about this PewDiePie clown, who is even more unbelievable because this guy has 36 million. I'm like, oh, this fucker. How do these people get these many subscribers? Anyway, back to this Jenna Marbles chick. Watch a video or two. Like I said, I guess she's trying to be a comedian, little cheap jokes, whatever. I've seen a couple pictures of her, a couple memes about her made on, Google and such. And my opinion of her is this: I bang her. I bang her. I don't care. I'll say it. I banged a bitch. I'm sure a lot of guys would too, but I'm just saying, for me personally, I bang her. And then she has this video she made called, a list of guys she would fuck. I'm like, is this bitch serious? And then that video got 12 million views. I'm like, oh god. And I don't think this bitch knows this, but there are a lot of guys who will bang her too, who are myself the moniker as the new face of the YWC. So what I'm going to do right now is I'd like to address the YWC. And when I say that, I mean all of the YWC. I mean the big channels with lots of subscribers, the figureheads, and, you know, all the smaller channels who have subscribers, and, you know, the newer channels that are really well known, and even the people who don't have channels who just kind of comment on other people's vids and stuff. I'm addressing the entire YWC. All I gotta say really is this. You know, you guys have ignored me for long enough. Tried to pretend like I don't exist for long enough. And so, now, well, if you won't come to me, damn it, I'm coming to you. So, for the next couple of days, maybe for the next week, I'm going to be posting some vids, addressing or giving my opinions, my thoughts on certain members of the YWC. I like to call it my little all-out assault on the YWC, so to speak. It's not really an assault. It's more along the lines of just a rapid fire of videos, you know, just giving my opinion on certain YWC members. All those big, popular people, everybody knows, like I said, the figureheads, you know, all these popular people. If you fit into that category, you're a target. If you have 10,000 plus subs, you're a target. If you've been mentioned at least more than once by the YWC and by YWC people, you're a target. And so I'm going to be making these vids, and I'm going to keep making them until I get my name known. So, yeah, that's how we're going to do it. I've been making wrestling reviews, I have, but, you know, what's the point of making wrestling reviews if nobody sees them? So, until I get, you know, a bigger audience, until I get more traffic on this channel, I'm going to do some of these vids and see what happens. And, you know, I'm going to do wrestling reviews in between. So, it's not like I'm just going to keep making vids about the YWC. So, you know, that's my message to you. And so, just to put the YWC on notice. Everyone, I am the Wrestling Otaku Super Sage 7, and it is time once again for me to give my opinion on a YWC celebrity, basically. Okay, so today's target of my discussion is a guy who I've made a few videos on already. He's pretty well known. Had a lot of people talk about him lately, at least the past few weeks. Today, I'm going to be talking about Bruce Blitz. Yep, Bruce Blitz. Okay, so like I said, I did a few videos on Bruce Blitz before. A few of them were parodies, like me imitating him, and I think I did pretty well in some of these imitations. And some of the other ones were me giving my thoughts of him, the whole false flag situation and whatnot. And one video I gave my thoughts on him. I said, you know, he was a pretty cool guy. He was, you know, very factual, very professional for what he does, and I still think that. But in this particular video, I got a few things I'd like to say about him, a few little gripes that I have with him and his Blitz team in particular. So we're going to get to all that in a minute. The first thing I should talk about is this. I know Bruce Blitz, you know, he quit YouTube. He was upset, you know, about how YouTube did him wrong, taking some of his old channels down and whatnot. And I understand his frustration. And, you know, he has his haters, he has his trolls, you know, people who say he's a quitter and a knee-bagger, and I don't agree with that necessarily. But there are a few things, a few little gripes I have with him that I'd like to get out. First thing is this, where should I even start? Basically, Bruce Blitz, you know, he's kind of like one of those big-time, you know, YWC guys now. You know, he talks sports, he talks wrestling, and he's got his own network, his own website, and all this here. And when you get to that level, when That's kind of what's happening with Bruce Blitz. I guess he thinks he's above everyone else. I'm not saying all the time, but that's just what it seems like. For example, I follow him on Twitter, and I read some of his, tweets and whatnot, and I try to tweet him. One time I tweeted him, I made a comment about how Daniel Bryan was overrated, and he favorited it, and I was a little surprised, but, he favorited it. And I tweet him a few times, but for the most part, they get ignored. They get thrown to the side, like, your opinion doesn't matter, and stuff like this. And, like I said, I follow him on Twitter. He followed me back. I'll give him that. He does follow you back if you follow him on Twitter. And one thing that I have against him is, seems like, since he got popular, seems like he kind of thinks he's above everyone else to the point where, he doesn't necessarily respond to everyone. And you're probably saying, where am I going with this? Well, there are some instances where he responds, but it's only in a certain situation. For example, I know he has his trolls, I know he has his haters, and he doesn't respond to them, okay? You're not supposed to respond to them. You're supposed to ignore them, okay? Because they're haters, you don't respond to them. I understand that fully, because I know what it's like to deal with trolls. But even the people who support him, the people who praise him, the people who've been following him for years, they can tweet him and give him a shout out or whatever and say, hey Bruce, you're doing a good job, or I liked what you said here, that's awesome. No response from him, none. And I know he addressed that. He said, oh, I'm busy all the time, I can't respond to each and every person. And I get that, but I mean, how busy can you be? It only takes like a few seconds to retweet or favorite, a comment, giving you praise, or to, message someone back and say, hey, thank you. It doesn't take 10 seconds to do that. So that's one thing I have. And like I said, really the only time that he'll give somebody thanks, really the only time he'll reply to somebody is either if they're a member of his little Blitz team, his inner circle, or if they say they subscribe to the network. If they're subscribed to the network, that's the only time he'll give them any recognition whatsoever. For example, if somebody tweets to him something like, hey, I just signed up to BlitzSportsNetwork.com, great website or something. It's the Wrestling Otaku once again, and it's time for video number 3 of my all-out assault on the YWC. My opinions on YWC members. Today, the topic of discussion, the target of discussion, is the Joe Cronin Show, or Joe Cronin in particular. Now, I've heard about this guy a little bit. He was mentioned in a comment in one of my videos on my other channel. He was mentioned in the Bruce Blitz thing, the Bruce Blitz video that he did, ragging on all the members of the YWC who were talking about him. And my first impression of Joe Cronin is, as I said before, he's like a straight up Dean Ambrose lookalike. I mean, if you've seen his face, you see what he looks like. I mean, he looks like Dean Ambrose's long-lost cousin, his long-lost inbred cousin. That's my first impression of Joe Cronin. Now, this Joe Cronin, I got a few thoughts about him that I'd like to get at here. First of all, the guy, he had that thing against Bruce Blitz and against, Mad Genius. Mad Genius said, a long time ago he was a big fan of theirs, and, he actually wanted to bring Mad Genius onto the show and, have him be on the show and talk, and Mad Genius kind of turned him down, and, everything seemed cool. But then later, Joe Cronin kind of turns on him. He makes this video. Basically, he makes this video called, The Secrets of Bruce Blitz, Why He Got Flagged, something like that. And he was actually charging people to watch this video. And I'm like, what? Why would you charge people to watch a video on an opinion of someone else? What are you, Howard Stern or something? And anyway, so, after the Bruce Blitz video, this Joe Cronin came out with a video called Fuck Bruce Blitz. And basically he was like, oh, I didn't say this. I didn't do this. I am the Wrestling Otaku. And it's time for the continuation of my all-out assault, my opinions on big-time YWC members. Today's target of my discussion is none other than the guy who seems to be in the YWC all the time. He's always talked about, I'm talking about the Wrestling Jesus. Yes, the Wrestling Jesus. Now, I made a video before about him, for a while he was known as Cedric Rants a lot. And then I kind of made a message video to him, and then he came back the same day. So, little coincidence there. I don't know. But anyway, this Wrestling Jesus guy, he got famous, on YouTube and then the YWC for doing rant videos, mostly about wrestling. Talks wrestling. Vents his frustrations against various, wrestlers. But mainly the reason he got famous is because he did rant videos on big-time YouTubers. He did a rant video on PewDiePie, on Smosh, on, AVGN, on, a couple other people. And, this is kind of what made him famous, these rant videos. And he's got quite a big following, of people who, like I said, he's got fan pages. He's got people uploading his old videos and stuff like this. So this guy's a pretty big deal. My little thing with him is this. This Wrestling Jesus guy, it seems like he can't really stay with one account too long, you see. I mean, I've heard that this guy has had, almost 20 accounts over the past couple of years. I mean, it seems like every time he gets an account, he gets some traffic, he deletes it, and then makes a new one. And, hey man, what's up with that? And I also heard that on his original account, the first account he had a whole bunch of subscribers, in the 10,000s or something like that, and he deleted that. I mean, what's the logic in that? I mean, this dude, he's just kind of out there, he's kind of out there. I mean, and then he changes his name. He tends to change his name a lot. First he's Wrestling Jesus, then he's, Cedric. I guess that's his real name. Then he's Cedric Rants. Everyone, Wrestling Otaku here once again for my 4th video of the day. Yet another video on some YWC guys. Today's topic of my conversation for this video is a pair of individuals that go by the name of the Smart Busters. These two guys have been in the YWC for about a couple years so now. They're pretty well known. They did some videos on wrestling. They talked about some wrestlers, about how, they don't necessarily like the internet fans and, internet famous wrestlers, for example, with David Bryan, Dolph Ziggler and such. And they kind of have their own little opinion on wrestling. And, I've seen a few of these guys' videos, and they do know somewhat what they're talking about. But anyway, my impression of them is, first of all, it's worth noting that these two guys don't really have names, at least not in their videos. They just go by the Smart Busters, but they don't have names for each other individually, and that's kind of weird. I mean, they just go by left one and right one. I mean, really, you can't really come up with names for yourselves. And, anyway, that's a little thing I have. And another thing, I saw one of their early videos. The guy on the right, the kind of tall one that has all the hair, had the hat on, had all the hair in the back of him, kind of messed up looking hair. He kind of reminds me of Little Slugger from the anime Paranoia Agent. I just remember seeing him. I'm like, wow, this dude looks just like Little Slugger. And I'm like, what? If you don't know who that is, look it up. Google it, Paranoia Agent, and then Little Slugger, and you'll see what I'm talking about. That's what that right guy looks like. And the left guy, he does impressions. He does various impressions of people in the wrestling. He did an impression of Wrestling Jesus once. I kind of like his Taz impression. I think it was pretty funny. No doubt about it, Cole. No doubt about it. It's going to be a fucking buster and stuff like that. So these guys are pretty funny. But, they do wrestling videos and whatnot. And they have done some videos, response videos to people who respond to them, to people who, disagree with things that they say. And they respond to these videos by making a video and watching the video of the response, and then just kind of responding to it that way. And they call them burials or whatnot. And they've done a few of these videos, and they just kind of make fun, poke fun at the person who's, trying to, counter their points. And I guess these guys, first of all, that's really a drop in the bucket compared to some of the other people that I've done these videos on, like Bruce Blitz, Joe Cronin, No DQ. These guys have thousands and thousands of subscribers, and a little bit of news, not necessarily about wrestling or anything, just something that I learned today. I made a video about Bruce Blitz, my opinion, and I kind of, told him my little grievances, about him, my little grievances with him and some of the members of the Blitz team. And at first, I didn't really think it would get all that much attention. I did get a lot of views for it, but I didn't think it would get much attention, and I figured he probably wouldn't see it. But then I log into Twitter on my computer at the library, and I found that I have been blocked from Bruce Blitz blocks me. He blocks me from following him. He blocks me from seeing his tweets. And if you don't believe me, just wait here a minute. I'll show you. Okay, here's his Twitter page right here. And here it says, "You are blocked from following Bruce Blitz and viewing Bruce Blitz's tweets. Learn more." Yep, right there, plain as day. Okay, as you just saw, I am blocked from seeing, Bruce Blitz's account on Twitter. And what that means, obviously, is that the video that I made, he must have seen it. It must have gotten to him. So he apparently got the message. So, either that or maybe he'll somehow say on Twitter, but I doubt it. I really haven't said anything negative about it or anything like that. It wasn't trolling or anything. It was just me giving my opinion on the dude. But, he blocked. Hello, viewers. Welcome once again to another edition of Sean's View Entertainment. Hello, all my subscribers, all my viewers, all listeners out there. Welcome to another edition of Sean's View Entertainment. This Sean's View Entertainment. And as you know, I am the most honored, the most dedicated, the most prolific, the most administrative, the most pixelated wrestling talk on YouTube.com. Now today, I wanted to get a little something out. As you know, I have been collecting donations on my GoFundMe account.com. I have been asking for an amount of money that it isn't exactly a whole lot of money. $100,000 isn't a lot of money, people. $100,000 isn't a lot of money. So I've been asking for donations on GoFundMe.com because I want to fund my future here on YouTube. I want to fund my future here on YouTube. And you see, hello everyone, I am the Wrestling Otaku, and today I just want to discuss a little something different out of the norm. Famous YouTubers who I believe are kind of overrated. Before I get into it, let me just say this. Here where I live, in the country of America, the country is known by the creed of, the land of the free, the home of the brave, the land of opportunity. Basically, if you work hard enough, if you put enough effort into what you do and you love what you do, you can become just about anything you want in this country if it's available to you. And that's what's great about this particular country that I'm in. Sometimes there's some individuals out there who get opportunities that they just don't deserve or they just really don't need. There's some people who get breaks that other people really should get. And one particular individual who I believe fits this category is this PewDiePie guy. Now, I've heard a lot about this PewDiePie guy over the years. Never really knew who he was. He was mentioned a couple times by some people who I'd, talked to, on social media. Never really knew who he was. And then, earlier this year, after I got, more involved in YouTube, after I started making more YouTube videos, I started looking at this PewDiePie guy kind of like, who is this? I mean, who is this guy? Why is he so fucking popular? I don't get it. So I go to his channel a few times, and I see these videos, and this guy does games, but he doesn't do the games that everybody knows, like the Pokemon and the Grand Theft Autos and the Mario game. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Wrestling Otaku. In this little video, I got a message for Sean's View Entertainment. Sean's View N. You see, I've been hearing a lot about you lately. You're the topic of discussion a lot in the YWC with the whole GoFundMe account, with the whole e-begging thing. People saying you're an e-beggar and blah blah, all that stuff. Anyway, I watched a few of your vids, and I made a vid or two about you, giving me my opinion on you. I kind of think I'm better, but that's just my personal opinion. But anyway, and you made a few vids responding to the hate, criticism you got, whatever. But anyway, this video, I got a message for you. It's very simple. You see, I heard that you said that you would talk with anybody. You would talk with your fans or whatever. You would talk with anybody on YouTube, who was a fan of yours or whatever, stuff like that. And you said, you weren't the kind of guy to only talk to big YouTubers with thousands of subscribers. You would talk to, small-time guys with only, a handful of subs. And you said you were that kind of guy who would talk to anyone. So my message is this. Now, I may not be a subscriber of yours, and I may not be a fan of yours. I kind of think, I'm equally as good, if not better. But what I want to do is this. I wanted to give a personal challenge to you right here, right now. I want to have a friendly gentleman's debate with you on wrestling. Me and you, one-on-one. No other outside parties, no other foolishness. I want to challenge you one-on-one to a debate with me. And if you are the guy that you say you are, you say you'll talk to anyone, well then, you'll accept my challenge. And if you don't, well then, you won't exactly be a man of your word, now will you? So, here's what I'm going to do. See, I don't have a computer at my house. I don't have any way to do a Google Hangouts with you. I wouldn't do that anyway. I'm not that kind of guy, but I got a Facebook page and I got a Twitter page. I'll link both of them in the description of this video. So anytime if you want to accept my challenge, just come on my Facebook, come on my Twitter, contact me, and we'll set the rules of this challenge. We'll set the rules of this debate. So that's all I got to say for that. Okay, so if you can hear this, and to all Sean's Views subscribers, all of Sean's Views and fans, I'm sure some of them are watching this video right now because I'm going to put his name in the description, put his name in the title. If you're watching this right now, send this video to him. Send this link of this video to him so he can see it. Okay? Because I want to challenge Sean's View. This is my challenge to Sean's View Entertainment, to see just what kind of an individual he is. Whether he will accept my challenge or not remains to be seen. But the challenge is on the table for you. Accept it if you want, if you like. Hey, what's up everyone? It's your boy, the Wrestling Otaku, the new face of the YWC here. And I got yet another message for Sean's View Ents. It's been 2 days since I made my challenge video to you, to challenge you to a little debate, wrestling debate. And thus far, no response, no indication that you've seen the video whatsoever. None of your flimsy punk fan base has come to my channel and tried to talk trash to me or anything. So my guess is you haven't seen it, or maybe you're ignoring it. So I just wanted to remind you, Sean's View, that you got 5 days to reply, to respond to my challenge. And if you don't, well then, you will be revealed to be a liar. You will not be a man of your word. And I may just have 12 subscribers, and I may not seem like all that.
I'll get the Canadian 1875 work order. Okay.
Afro. I am the Wrestling Otaku, and this video goes out to Sean's View Entertainment. Hey, Sean's View, listen up, if you are listening. I gave you 7 days to answer my challenge, to answer a challenge for a debate, a wrestling debate with me. Because I wanted to see if you're really as good as you claim to be. And I got no response whatsoever. None. In 7 days. I sent this message last week, and I was expecting you to at least answer it, at least leave a comment or whatever. But obviously, you had no intention of replying to me. And it's not like I made this message and just let it float out there and hope that you would see it. I went to your page. I went to your videos. I left comments on your videos linking you to this video. Linking you to my challenge. I'm sure that you've seen these comments. And yet, no response. So, what that tells me, Sean's View, is one thing. What that tells me is you're a coward. You're scared of me. You're scared of the Wrestling Otaku. You're scared. You're afraid of me. You're afraid of losing a debate to me. You're afraid that I'm going to expose you. You're afraid that I'm going to, well, embarrass you. Afraid that, well, quite frankly, I'm just a better wrestling fan, a better wrestling, I know more about wrestling than you. And you're afraid of that. You're afraid of looking bad. So you don't answer my challenge. And what that also means is you're a liar. You said yourself that you would talk to anyone on YouTube. Anyone. It didn't matter if they were a big channel with thousands of subs, or a small channel with very little at all. And yeah, I only had 15. But according to you, that didn't matter. So I challenged you. And no response. So what that means is, you're a liar, you're a coward, you're a punk. Okay? And I find it absolutely disgraceful that this community revolves around you. proven that Sean Mutant is a coward and a liar and a hypocrite and all that stuff here. He wouldn't accept my challenge. I win by default. So you see, my overall goal in all this, my overall goal when coming to the YWC, the YouTube wrestling community, was to get my name known. That was my original goal. Take it all the way to the top. The top guy. To be the guy that everyone mentions, everyone looks up to. But you see, in order to do that, I can't do that alone. Well, maybe I could, but I would prefer to do it as part of a team. You see, Bruce Blitz, he's got his Blitz team. You know, Sean's View, he has his little followers. You know, Joe Cronin has his followers. Wrestling Jesus has his followers. All those big YouTubers, they all have their following. Well, starting right now, right here today, I would like to announce the formation of the Wrestling Otaku Squad. Well, that doesn't really roll off the tongue, if you will, so I'm going to shorten it to the WO Squad. Today, starting today, is the formation of the WO Squad. Okay, I know that name's kind of cheesy, maybe I'll change it later, but for now, I'd like to announce the creation of the WO Squad. We are a squad, my squad of individuals. I'm the Wrestling Otaku, and I just wanted to address something real quick. You know, earlier, I had made a video called Roman Reigns Not Cena 2.0. Some of you might have seen it. If you haven't, you can go look back at my old videos and you'll see it. For those of you who did see it, you know, basically I was making the case that Roman Reigns, a lot of people seem to think that he's just as bad as John Cena, and he's the next Cena, and he's Cena 2.0 and all this shit. And I was kind of saying, you know, I was making the case that there's no way that Roman Reigns is the next Cena. No way. Because too much would have to happen for him to be the next Cena. And some of these fans who, and I'm not just saying this just to be a prick or anything, I'm saying this because it's the truth. A lot of the fans who hate Roman Reigns now used to root for Roman Reigns years ago, or a year or so ago, when he was part of the Shield. Even right after he left the Shield, after the Shield was broken up, these same people were on the Roman Reigns bandwagon, were fans of Roman Reigns, were supporting him. These are the fans who were crying after Roman Reigns lost the Royal Rumble to Batista, and after the next night they were crying on social media, crying on, various social media websites. Or Roman Reigns should have won, and all that stuff. And now if you ask them about it, they'll say, oh, no, we weren't cheering for Roman Reigns, we just didn't like Batista. Bullshit. Okay? And most of these people who don't like Roman Reigns are mostly Bryan fans who are all mad that Bryan didn't get the spot that Roman Reigns got. And now everybody's on the bandwagon of hating Roman Reigns, just like they're on the bandwagon of hating Cena. And it's just stupid. And like I said, just to show you just how inconsistent and wishy-washy some of these fans are, I wanted to show you a little video. Some of you might know Mad Genius, Virtuoso Sports guy. He has a channel on YouTube. He's also, Bruce Blitz's right-hand man. He used to, do the Raw reviews with Bruce Blitz, when he did his Raw reviews on YouTube. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, to all my subscribers, all my viewers, all my listeners out there. This is the most consistent, the most dedicated, the most prolific, the most honorific, the most administrative, the most liberated uploader in the history of YouTube.com. Welcome to a Sean's View Entertainment video. Now today, I have something very, very deep to get off my chest, okay? Very, very important that I have to get off my chest right now. You see, I know, I'm aware that a couple of days ago, Wrestling Jesus' channel was flagged down. It was taken down. It was flagged. Apparently there was some issue with flagging. I don't know what's going on here. But what I wanted to say right here is because I am getting harassed. I am getting bullied. I am getting threats in my messages. Wrestling Jesus' fans, I have to say this. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Wrestling Otaku, and I'd like to make this quick video here. I'm well aware that the YWC has kind of, stopped all the beefs, all the rivalries, and there's kind of a bit of an alliance between the more well-known members. But, well, that doesn't mean that I can't call somebody out. So what I'd like to do right now is to call out you, Joe Cronin, the Joe Cronin Show. I'm calling out you, Joe Cronin, you punk Patriots fan. It's you. I'm talking to you. I'm calling you out. I know you're whining and crying about the Patriots, about the punishment that the NFL placed on them. You've been whining and crying about Tom Brady being suspended and all that. What I'd like to do right now is I'd like to call you out. I'd like to challenge you. I'd like to make a little challenge to you. So if you see this video, I want a response. See, if that is, of course, unless you're one of those whining and crying, bitching Patriot fans, just like all the other whining and bitching Patriot. Okay, what's up, everyone? I'm the Wrestling Otaku. And today I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. Women. What is up with women nowadays? I just don't get them. I never have. And I'm sure a lot of guys will say they don't get them either. But there's certain things that women do nowadays that just confuse me. That just make me scratch my head and say, what are they thinking? I mean, I know a lot of guys can attest to this. And a lot of women, they do things that they just make no sense. I mean, one minute they like you, the next minute they don't know you exist. I mean, it's just crazy. And I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, that's because you don't know about women. You're just a anime wrestling nerd. You don't know about women. Well, that's not true. I've had several experiences with women in the past, mostly on social media, on Facebook and such. Not so much in real life, because I never had a real life relationship, but there have been some real life incidents that happened to me that I've experienced that kind of make me wonder about women. For example, back when I was in high school, in my 11th grade year, there was this girl. I didn't really know her, wasn't really friends with her. I knew who she was, but we shared the same classes the year before in 10th grade, but never really knew her. I was kind of a loner. I was kind of a nerdy guy. Nobody really knew who I was. She was like in a popular crowd. She was one of those popular kids or whatever. Not too popular, but just, one of those more popular kids, girls who I guess got attention. And, 11th grade year rolls around, and, I'm doing the same thing, and she's doing the same thing, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, she starts hitting on me, She starts saying things like, oh, hey, sexy, and all that stuff, and it kind of shocked me. I'm like, whoa, what the hell? Did she seriously just call me sexy? I've been called a lot of things in my life, but I've never been called that, okay? So, naturally, I was skeptical. I was like, why is this girl, making some kind of, I don't know, some kind of prank, or I don't know. So, naturally, I was skeptical of it. So, I just made sure to keep talking the same way. I just said, hey, how you doing? I didn't really engage her or anything. And, she made passes to me every now and then. Then a few months later, I try to talk to her, and she's just blows me off, like how do we do or something like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Seriously, like a month or so ago, you were hitting on me. You couldn't stop talking to me, and now you're fucking blowing me off. And this is the kind of shit I'm talking about with women. I mean, one minute, they're all on your nuts. The next minute, oh, you don't exist. Shit like this. And it just confuses me to no end. I mean, I know I'm not the most attractive guy. I know I'm not the most outgoing guy. I don't have all that good of a personality. I'm fairly smart. It's like this. There are certain things that I'm more knowledgeable about than others. And I'm not all that in shape. I don't have a bodybuilder, bod or anything like that. But I've had a few experiences with women in the past, and it's just confusing. I mean, it's just kind of frustrating at times. And like I said before, I've had most of my on Facebook. I've had several girls that I've talked to in the past, and it seems like they were kind of coming on strong. It seemed like they were pretty interested in me. At least to me, it seemed like it. And then a month or so down the line, they act like I don't fucking exist. I mean, it's frustrating. And you try to talk to them, they make the excuse that they're busy and whatnot. And then you look on the newsfeed, and you see them repeatedly keep making status updates and commenting on other people's statuses and shit. And you're busy, right? Yeah, bullshit. Okay, it's frustrating. I've had several girls do this to me, and I honestly don't get it. I don't get women nowadays. Nowadays, women are all about appearance, all about money, all about social standing. See, with us guys, we don't care about all that, okay? We just want a girl with a nice ass, kind of nice chest. I mean, she doesn't even have to be all that good looking, She just has to be somewhat attractive, But girls, they want every fucking thing. They want you to look good. They want you to be a GQ model. They want you to have the surfboard abs, the surfboard body. They want you to be outgoing. They want you to have a successful career. They want you to make all this money so you can spend it on them. They want you to fucking be outgoing and the life of the party and all that shit. They want all that. For us guys, it's just, we want a chick who's attractive. That's all we want. I mean, that's all we want. But girls, I mean, it's just the standard is set way too high for them. Way too high. This is the kind of thing that, guys like me and guys like most other guys just kind of scratch your head and say, where is this girl coming from? Where are they coming from? It's just ridiculous, man. Girls these days, man. I have no idea where they're coming from. I honestly don't. Shit like this is why I tend to stay away from the dating scene. I don't get involved with it. I played around with it a little bit. I experimented with it a bit on social media, but it never worked out, and I doubt it ever will, because look at me. I'm no Will Smith, okay? So that's basically all I got, Women, I just don't get them, I probably never will. All they want is looks, appearance, and all that shit. And another thing that kind of ticks me off about them is they're always complaining about how they can never find a good man in the world. All men are bad, all men are cheaters and jerk-offs and stuff like this. And, no, that's not all guys. Not all guys are like that. All the guys that you go out with are like that because you date these jackasses, these bad boys, who go out and party and all this shit. And then, they flirt with every girl that they see. Of course he's not going to be loyal to you. What the fuck did you think? He's a bad boy. He doesn't care about what you think. He's not going to be loyal to you. I mean, seriously, these women need to wake up, Why is that kind of a guy attractive to you? Why is that guy appealing to you? And then when he cheats on you, and then he leaves you or dumps you or whatever, or treats you bad or whatever, you're crying, blah, 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 why did he dump me, blah, blah, blah. And then you kind of get over it, and you say, okay, this time I'll find a good man, And then you go and you fucking go out with somebody just as bad, if not worse, than the guy you were with. And it's the same shit over and over and over again. This is the shit I'm talking about. This is why I don't get involved with the dating scene. This is why I don't go on dating websites and shit. Because it's shit like that. Women like that. And that's the stuff I stay away from, okay? I'm sticking to this channel. I'm sticking to anime and wrestling shit. If a chick comes along and wants to hang with me, that's fine. But she better not be one of those